stop posting about cavalry. I'm tired of seeing it. My friends on TikTok send me on Discord. It's fucking. I was in a server, right? And all of the channels are just.
So recently, well, probably it's been around for like a month or two, but BA Armory, they've had this new feature for Patreons, mainly because like this is a rather expensive thing to do or website to maintain, and it shows you a bunch of units that are very popular in all types of elos. Like you can select like an elo bracket, and then the website or the API is going to retrieve it from the game's database, and then you're going to be able to know like which units are really popular, which units aren't. And I think I've seen other VTubers, sorry, not VTubers, YouTubers do it as well. And out of all those units, the M10 is the one that is the most popular, or probably one of the most popular units for US in Broken Arrow. Well, there's a couple of reasons to that. It's basically it's such a tanky vehicle that only tanks can outmatch it, and still it takes 3 shots. It has APS, so at a price of 190 points, it's cheap. It can dish out a lot of damage with its 50mm cannon, and yeah, like if you fire a javelin at it, it's not going to do much. Unless it's the 3rd javelin, which in that case, the tank will smoke up. So there's no doubt that even in the highest level of Broken Arrow, people will be using the Booker. And that's why today, in today's episode of Hilo Heist, me, Corin, will be fighting against one of the better Booker spammers out of there. And that person is called Excuse Me. There's also no shame in spamming Bookers, but I was coping quite a lot when I was fighting in this match, so that's why I decided to feature this one against my beloved Booker enjoyers out there. I also used to use Bookers a lot. I think I just end up like it's pretty easy to use them actually. Like it's a really since the can just doesn't stop shooting, I think beginners that like microing will have a fun time using Bookers. But eventually there will come a day or be a point in time where just ambushing the Bookers using infantry with AT4s or something like even the Russian infantry are pretty decent at doing this task, much better than US infantry, at least I think so. Since for my deck, which is Marine Armored, aka the Wall deck that I probably featured like a couple episodes back, it only has AT4s, and that's obviously not a lot when considering the Booker actually has 800mm of heat protection in the front, and it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a lot of shots for the AT4 to actually punch through it. In the meantime, enough about the Booker talk. Well, you know, the Bookers will present themselves as we keep yapping, but for now we're just gonna be talking about our early setup. So the map Suwalki Gap is a map where, okay, this is a pretty nice zoomed out shot. Everyone has these, I'll just start talking from here. Everyone has these like tall like skyscraper looking resident buildings, whatever. And people often put snipers in them. Like, there's so many of them, you just don't know which one's which. And as a result, it's quite like troubling, since you don't really know whenever which building's got a sniper in it, and at some point in time, like that sniper will spot the things in your backline, and it's just going to be a tough it's just going to be tough for me, or like the player who's getting spotted on or trying to push, or maybe the one that's not using smoke. Like for example here, as you can see, my opponent, excuse me, utilizing smoke to his advantage. Also, fun fact, the smoke has been buffed recently. So it used to last a minute, only a minute, and now that it's basically almost increased its duration by 50% the duration. I mean, like, just think about it, man. Like, you can now for every mortar you have on the field, you can deploy almost let's say half times more the amount of smokes that you would like on the field, and that's just kind of really annoying to fight against, because Oh, we spot a sniper here, but I don't have a machine gun on my IFAV because I wanted the tow just to mess with my opponent. But that's okay. At least you know the sniper's there. So, yeah, as we mentioned, the smokes are kind of like a pretty, like, cancer or like not very healthy thing for the game at the moment, because vehicles have smokes too. It's not like, you know, mortar smokes are the only thing, and even so, the fast aiming time of mortars have always been very reliable, very helpful when it comes to concealing your movement or that kind of things. Right now, my opponent, excuse me, is also, I should stop mentioning his name, I'll just say my opponent. He's playing not SF Striker, he's playing Marine Striker. And right now, the way that he's decided to play the game is spamming 4 truckloads, 4 AVPs worth of infantry down into this tree line that I'm trying to defend, and also, actually I think that's 3, along the booker on the side, which is actually, you know, caught me quite off guard here. And right now, I'm pretty sure that those Marine Raiders are done for, because, yeah, there's simply too many infantry squads over there, and there's not much I can do about it. So I'm just gonna try to drop these guys, drop the supply somewhere else, drive into the booker here that my opponent got out first, and use the front armor of the tank to hopefully deal with my opponent here. Fortunately, it seemed like the Abrams did take a side or rear shot from my opponent here. I need to get a new tank very soon. I did manage to get a couple more, getting another small, that was a small team that was kind of messing with my my Abrams there. Unfortunately, I didn't stay close enough to get the 3rd shot off at the booker, otherwise I would have been able to get it off. Now my opponent's just going to be able to drive his booker back home, back into base, and that's really unfortunate because I didn't really kill anything. And I lost some units, some really valuable units to say the least. One is the Abrams, and the other is like a Marine Raiders team, which is probably very helpful against my opponent, since I really do need that squad just to fight, you know, against CQC infantry. As you can see here, the small teams is just blasting my infantry, not without too much effort, and even the Marine Raiders squad is having a bit of trouble with my opponent's infantry. Well, he does have his own Marine Raider squad, so maybe that explains a lot. But now we're just gonna try to use the cat fade, because if my opponent has so much infantry squads along with like a booker on the field and the logistics to carry them, then they probably don't have that much, let's say, like backline units. That was a mortar, by the way, just to blowing them up. I was a bit let's say lazy, or like it wasn't really a well placed logi point. But anyways, you know, like getting a kill is decent. I'll take whatever, you know, a kill is a kill, I'll take it. Yeah, like our opponent can always just resupply there, which is like right behind the buildings that we just tried to take out. And me all of a sudden not having a supply point really sucks, because I dropped the supplies in front of the booker for him to spot earlier, so definitely not ideal. I'm on the Bradley CFV. Definitely need to drive it out of there. Oh, that is a 35. And then my Bradley dies immediately. Okay, so that's definitely not good. As you can see here, this is probably my opponent's 2nd booker. That's basically just gone back. I think it's definitely his 2nd one. He's currently trying to run me down because I have absolutely no infantry, no front line. They all died. And it's kind of the combination of things, you know, like, yes, you can obviously use tanks to counter a booker, but in these like close range engagements, like inside a smoke, you can only point your front armor at the booker, and there's only so much you can do. As you can see, he just taps around, like he swings around to the Sep's side, and I kind of need to like point my front at him again, only for the Lav AD to save me with their Hydra rockets on the rear armor of the Booker, which is definitely not enough. So, as you can see here, I'm definitely struggling as to start with, in this match at least. And when it comes to like blobbing or like infantry, you know, that kind of stuff, infantry fighting is nowadays in Broken Arrow, it's basically just blobbing. Like whatever you do, you just get stuff in. Like small teams are pretty decent. I also lose my Viper here out of spite because I was kind of pissed off at the moment. Because in my opinion, Booker spam is like on paper, I feel like I should know how to deal with Booker spam, but apparently I don't know how to deal with Booker spam. Anyways, yeah, as you can see, their losses are pretty bad. But we'll have to get back into this game eventually, sometime soon. As me personally, I think I lost my MTVR to the Booker again because Booker is a vehicle that actually someone should count the amount of times I say Booker this video. But anyways, it's a vehicle that isn't fast on paper. It's only 70, but since it's tracked, once it goes off-road, which is like basically a lot of places in Broken Arrow, then it's actually quite deadly. It can wrap around in a lot of places and quickly reposition itself to get off a couple shots at infantry, side armor, and the high DPS really does do a lot of damage. Here I did do kind of cocky. I honestly did. I was thinking only the Marine Raiders were going to engage my AMPV, so that's why I left my AMPV there, only to realize it was getting ambushed by a small team, which is something that I actually haven't been calling in. I think for 70 points, it's also a very effective squad. I just don't really know why I haven't been using it myself. In the meantime, I do wonder though, the Booker is the kind of vehicle where I kind of wish that it had one less smoke, you know? Like, what if the Booker only had one smoke, right? That would be that'd be pretty cool. Anyways, it seems our infantry there, our cheap infantry there that, you know, cost 50 points each for a squad. They might be a bit too cheap, in my opinion. They might be a bit too cheap. Because on their own, they don't really do much. And as you can see right now, I don't have a lot of things. I don't have my own pack. I lost my pack. The only RD I have is the Catfay. And then I keep losing units, and that's something that you don't want to do at the start of the match. Because, like, yeah, sure, upkeep this, upkeep that. Like, you don't want to, like, the best, like, overall, like, if you think about it, you do some quick math. The amount of points, or the economy that it takes for you to, or for the upkeep to actually basically double its price is like 16 minutes, I think. So your unit needs to survive on the field for like a decent, like more than a phase's amount of time for it to like die, basically. I think it's a weird way of phrasing. I actually have no idea what I'm talking about, but basically it's TLDR, that it's always better to not lose units, I think. In the meantime, our opponent is doing a decent amount of job, always running his infantry back into his, you know, supply point, which is somewhere that we cannot spot because of you know, they're using a lot of smokes here. And the smokes, they aren't really like everyone has access to it, right? I think smokes are also like especially mortars. But before we talk about smokes, let's talk about our Lab AD's Avenger here on the right hand side. It's gonna go for a quick journey, immediately go after that helicopter, hold the Silent Hawk with infantry inside, and then right after use the rocket pods to blast out that sniper team along with the engineer team that was going for its resupply over there. And then I was going to go get a big gree for the click or the Catfay, but ended up running into the Booker, so I could only go for the last engineer team, which was quite nice. Still managed to get something. And I guess my opponent was a bit with his micro ring, so I could also he moved his cafe into the front line. I have no idea what was going on. So okay, now we have it. Now we have our opponent coming in with the Booker, but only for him to realize that I revealed my M60, which also has really good front armor. I can just wipe the Booker as long as I point my front armor at it, and it also takes 3 shots, just as well as the Abrams. So we're just gonna quickly pop the Marine Raiders into a decent spot so that they can quickly wipe out the infantry inside there that was clearly not CQC infantry. Very nice, very nice. First phase seems to be alright. The 50-50 distribution in terms of capture points. Oh, that is a Fighting Falcon. And it's going for my resupply point in my cafe. So, yeah, there's definitely something in the back that's spotting, like, or I'm just not smoking up enough. Like, as you can see there, the, that small team that just jumped into that building. Pretty sure there was or used to be a sniper in there, so that's why they could spot my stuff and basically just wiped out 500 points of units casually. The saving grace is that we still managed to get a tick on the KD, so it's definitely not the end of the world. A point is fine, like any tick. Any one point, even 1 point could matter quite a fair bit. So I think, you know, 1 point is 1 point, right? $20 is $20. Still need to resupply in the meantime. I get quite cocky with myself, thinking that, oh, my opponent only uses Bookers. I'll just use the M60, drive up into my opponent's face, and then immediately run into a smalls team. But 2, actually, 2. I didn't even have time to react. So for now, we do have control of the B point. Unfortunately, the resupply point behind that building was also spotted. I'm pretty damn sure there is like some kind of recon nearby that I haven't cleared out. Therefore, it's pretty easy for my opponent to figure out where exactly my units are for resupplying. I was really lousy this match. Should have used cover a bit more, or just simply put my supplies like in here, smoke this area in general. So yeah, definitely think these were plays that I could have done better, just to preserve my units, which, you know, at this point in time, it's I'm not doing it well enough this match. So, excuse me. Oh god. Yeah, I'm alright. I just was eating a breadstick, happened to choke on it. It's kind of weird for me to be recording a video, but I just happened to find myself very hungry, and that's why so I decided to have a breadstick. So anyways, the current situation is pretty simple. We do have control of B, that is very nice. I force fired my Abrams at the building that I supposedly had a sniper, my opponent had a sniper in, that's why I threw a couple shots there. Also getting vehicle counters to Bookers, which is like Abrams, M60s. This is a bit of a more armored approach. You could say that, oh, just get infantry. Yeah, I agree too, man. Like, maybe infantry is pretty nice, but as you can see, most of my infantry are dying to just Bookers, and bombs and clicks at the moment, I can't really hide my units in the back, and that's why I'm currently trying to just use vehicles a bit more. My opponent also... Oh, that is very scary. HIMARS, run away. Yeah, they're going for that tree line, not the vehicle itself. If you ask me why I smoked there, I was unsure if my opponent actually had laser guided. I mean, a sniper in the back, laser guiding the Abrams. So that's why there is a chance. There's always a chance where my opponent could simply just like get an engine on the first 2 shots of the Abrams, which is honestly pretty annoying, and it happens. Like, there's not much to say, like, it happens, so, like, what are you gonna do about it, right? So anyways, the idea here was to just, you know, just smoke to be safe, right? Smoke to be safe. Mech Rifleman, with only 4 ET4s, this is just some prime force fire gameplay, from the Booker. If you happen to... If your opponent happens to enjoy doing this, well, there's not much you can do about it, honestly. You're just gonna force fire that building. Just get out of the building. It's not gonna hurt. And right now, well, that is a lot of the Marine Raider squad and a small team. Just going to quickly say hello. And now we do have some action going on. The SEP, along with the M60, gonna have to defend ourselves against this Booker, as you can see here, along with a bit more infantry on the left. We definitely do need some reinforcements. My Abrams over there is also chilling on the wrong side of the map here. The AT4 basically did absolutely nothing. Marine Raider squad also get door knocked by my opponent's Marine Raiders team. He's just spamming more infantry than I am, and his Bookers. Let's just say that... Yeah, let's just say that they're... they also didn't react in time, so there goes another 120 points. Yeah. Not looking good, and my opponent has just deployed a bunch of smoke that I probably could have went into, but ended up not going into. Got a bit pissed here, so I ended up I think I decided to just keep running into the smoke. Just gonna quickly... Yeah, the smokes here is just covering my opponent's free path. Oh, that does seem to be a purple Booker. We'll just say hello. Yeah, that's 2 of them. 2 of them with 1 HP. If I had like a bit more, like 1 more shot, it would have been nice. But sometimes that's too much to ask for. That's another Booker in the back. Just gonna use the MLRS to go for that. The building in the back. I think it actually somehow got 2 kills in the meantime. Oh, Richard. The Pack 3 didn't get desynced, which is quite nice. We did manage to take out whatever that wasn't in the building. I think I should have shot a couple more shots here. But overall, it did seem fine. And now I'm just gonna resupply my get myself some new smokes on the SEP in the back. That's doesn't have any side armor, but honestly, against Bookers, having side armors or not, I guess it does kind of make a difference. The only difference is that, in reality, the only difference is that, you know, it gives it a bit more health, and the side armor itself, not that much. It's not that much of a difference. So unfortunate news for me here, actually, that I didn't know this at the time, but as I was trying to resupply my units, so have my opponent's 2 Bookers finished their resupply. So as you can see here, I'm trying to like take 2 shots off at this 1 Booker. I'm getting swarmed by 2 more, 3 in total, by the way. And there's not much I can do. I trade one of these Bookers. One of the smallest teams that's here to like cover my Booker gets absolutely blasted. Takes literally no effort here. And then there's Comanche in the back. I slowed down, smoke, and only for me to find out that the smoke that I deployed did not cover my tank at all, and that pisses me off so much because I just lost almost more than 500 points worth of units to bullshit. I mean, okay, maybe it's not bullshit, you know, it's just an expression of skill. How about we put it that way? Yeah, so it's definitely me problem. Kind of wish I did better here. You know, shit happens. You can only ask for yourself to play better. Use more marine infantry. Just blob harder. Blob harder than your opponent does. Bring more infantry. Surely that's fun. And a good addition to the game. And although I could tell you guys about, I can't really tell you guys about what's going on in the PTE. I also haven't been testing much myself, but yeah, I do hope that it goes public. For many reasons. Cruise missile takes out that sniper. I am considering moving that sniper up in the meantime, but if you ask me about the PT, all I can say is I really hope it goes live so that the devs can know what the fuck they're doing. Like whether the fuck they're doing is a good idea or a bad idea. Let's let the community tell. I mean, but then again, it's a long story and probably not something that's today's topic. As you can see, we're just dealing with bookers. Definitely need a bit more AT4s or that kind of stuff. I only had mech rifleman is definitely not a good unit to deal with my opponent's bookers because they deal no damage to bookers. I need M60s, which currently I think I'm calling a couple in at the moment. And after that, I still have my opponent's infantry blobs that is just simply not enough to deal. I just can't hold them back with like this, you know, as you see your mech rifleman, force recon, it's just not the right unit. So yeah, like I really don't think that. Oh, there we go, 2 more M60s, not bad at all. I kind of wish that well, I guess against like opponents that want to win, there's not really not much that you can do. You just have to use the units that are good against my opponents. My lab M gets destroyed by the blast of my supplies there over in that tree line. Hopefully, actually not even in range for that booker to shoot off a second AT4. There we go, 1 shot. A couple more, but then all of a sudden my mech rifleman is almost dead. Definitely not helping much. Gonna fire the Catfe off. It does seem like a pretty juicy position. Also just gonna quickly snipe that booker from the side with an ambush through the buildings here. Hopefully the Catfe does some damage. I'm not too sure. But it definitely softened up some of these units that are in the back, and in the meantime we're just going to quickly run into the classic marine blob here with like a small team in marines. The devs apparently they said that, oh guys, we kind of fucked it up, you know, like oh, and there's a nuke. Unlucky. And then it turned off the radar, but the DC did there, right? They also nuked a bit in the back, so it also got it even got my GMLRS, and along with my tanks that never even shot a single time this engagement. So that's just unlucky, I guess. And my opponent has a free reign over the B camp because everything's gone. And this is something that I want to bring up, but I guess it's too much to ask for currently, I guess. And that is that nukes are just OP. Might be a hot take actually, but I do think nukes are actually broken. Yeah, but let me munch on this real quick. I'm just hungry, man, guys. Sorry. But nukes, and booker spam, I couldn't hold it anymore. I had to tell my opponents that, guys, you gotta have some decency. You can only do one at a time, surely. I'm not saying that booker spam is like as terrible as nuke spam, but the idea of using a nuke like this is like the textbook. This is the textbook way of using a nuke. Like, you lose the point, no problem. Just contest the cap again, and then nuke your opponent's front line and maybe a bit behind that. And then every unit that he has that's trying to defend the B, everything that he has to accumulate the thing is gone. It's just gone. And you could say that, you know, but Gordon, you know, the thing costs 1,000 points. It's worth it. The B2 dies anyways. Well, that's true. And the nuke always goes off, though. The nuke always goes off, and that is a problem. The idea that the nuke always goes off results in the fact that it's just never worth it to devote a large amount of units, like that's more than 1,000 points. As you can see, that nuke cost, that nuke was almost 3,000 points worth of kills. So it's like, I mean, sure, that's 2 guys, and also included a bit of my backline along with my pack. So that's technically my fault, I guess, but nukes are really interesting. Like, you kind of just click one place on the map, everything's gone, and let's say people like to spam planes, right? Like you have a plane. I don't really think 3 planes, like 3 F-35s, can kill units that are worth more than 1,000 points in one go, right? I'm not saying that the nuke shouldn't. Like sure, it's a nuke, right, guys? Like surely it should kill everything, and it's in a radius of like, you know, half a kilometer and in Broken Arrow. It kind of ruins the fun. Like, I'm trying to build a front line here, as you can see, but I guess it's just not possible when everyone just decides that, oh, I'm just gonna use a nuke, guys. Nice front line you got there. Everything's gone, and it sucks even more for the side that has control of the cap, because all you gotta do, well, yeah, sure, there still are counters. It's just that the counters aren't really well defined yet, because the nuke itself, due to how stealthy the B2 is, and you basically don't spot it until it's too late. At least for against like these people who know at least send seed in, you know, send seed in. Even with my pack 3 here earlier, I think it was here or I think it was in that tree bush, might have been like its vision might have been blocked by the building to its right, so on paper it should have spotted it like 5 kilometers away. But even so, like the chances, like the high ECM of the B2 makes it kind of difficult to immediately 2-shot. And as a result, like, yeah, I mean, I guess I probably have seen times where also my M60 is getting shot at by the Booker, like, through smoke, I don't know. I guess it's just, like, the, sense, vision difference, you know, not much. Skill issue. Yeah, the nuke is, like, against, like, if you ask Ben, if any of you, my fellow viewers do watch the Benjiverse, go ask him, go ask how he thinks about nukes, and how every time when he tries to play the game, he gets nuked, and he loses all his units, and then his opponents take the cap at the end of the phase. So this is like the grand strategy, you know, like, as you see, just wait till the end of the phase, let your opponent like stack up their defenses, build up their defenses, and then just nuke them. Just nuke them, and then, well, right after like when you start to attack, that is, and then just go take the cap for free. Very simple. Doesn't take too much effort as long as you save up for a certain amount of time, and considering that you are giving ground to your opponent in doing so, like it costs the same, right? Like. But for the US and Russia, like, there's actually a bit of a difference. You might think Russia's nukes are a bit more broken, because, like, they don't risk losing 1,000 points here, as you might know already, which is true, but you can also get intercepted with, like, 1 pack, and that's why, as Russia, they also need to invest a lot more points when it comes to getting and like making sure the nuke goes through, because they have to like call in seaplanes. They have to, well, a lot of seaplanes actually. So it's not just 1,000 points and maybe like a seaplane. Sure, the US also needs it, but Russia needs it even more as a nuke plane. It's like instead of like it's just a missile, right? It's just a missile. It's not like a. Oh, actually get a snipe off against that Booker, pretty nice and juicy, but at least for this phase we couldn't manage to take B back. Thankfully our ally, who's pushing B, believe his name was Husky. I don't know. I don't play a lot. Didn't spend a lot of time playing with him, but thankfully he did manage to take the cap, the C cap, that is, this phase, which is quite nice. So in the meantime, I'm probably just gonna stop coping about about nukes and stuff. Me personally, I really don't like nukes. I don't use nukes myself, and people could probably say that Gordon just use nukes, right? Like it's fun. You should use nukes, but it just ruins the fun for everyone that you know wants to play the game the honest way. But regardless, you know, right now we're just trying to take back the D point. Currently, there are 3 players on this cap. Well, there's also like, well, one of the guys at least are sharing, no, actually, like, there's 3 guys here, and out of the 3 guys here, like, 2 of them are taking back B, so it's quite interesting. The building here saves my MTBR. I'm gonna use that cafe to quickly clear out these buildings. The M60 that was, just freshly arrived on the field also managed to take down the Booker that ran out of smokes, it seems. But there's still 2 more in the back, so nothing to really be too proud of. Along with the SEP that got away, sorry, the FEP in the very back. But it seems like my Viper has actually been shooting off a lot of Hellfires. I know that the Hellfires are like, on paper they are this semi-active guided warhead, so they are not the kind of like missile to actually do big amounts of like be too effective, especially in like these like if your opponent can manage to shove their units or vehicles behind like a building, then they would be fine. Just break line of sight for 1 second, and more often than not they will be able to evade the missile. Although still I think helicopters like these are really really nice and neat. I think the Viper, like this build, can I pause this right here? Yeah. Oops, oh no, unlucky. I tapped out, I mean I selected another unit, but the idea that I can use, oh, that is a Marine, another Marine, that is a Raider too. I'm just gonna smoke up there. Bye. I'm not dealing with you. Need CQC infantry for that. Oh, there we have it. Oh, we don't have it anymore. Yeah, the Viper's, so the Viper has a build where it's like, costs like 250 points, or 245, if you want the rockets or not. It has Hellfires. It has like Hellfire, Straw Fire, and it looks like a middle finger, but it's a Hellfire. Okay, it's got rockets. If you want it, it's like costs like 5 points for 15 APKWS, and then also has 2 sidearms, which is like Seed. This is very helpful against units that could potentially take out the Viper in 1 shot, and it's really nice. Oh, that is a Booker. Get out of here. The Booker is really, really exceptional at getting away with like ambushes, especially thanks to the presence of like, or the abundance of smokes near the smoke of my M60 runs out, because that is a vehicle smoke, that is not an artillery smoke. So therefore, like, haha, the unit dies because it gets spotted all of a sudden. So that's the difference, as you can see. That's the difference. I mean, I'm pretty sure that smoke was like a 30-second smoke. It's not even a minute long, I think, I presume. And then the same with the infantry, but not the artillery smoke. So here, that's also another vehicle smoke, right? I try to cross the road, and then it immediately runs out. So like, yeah, it's pretty sure, like vehicle and infantry smoke there. If here, like right here, if I did use my mortar to cover my advance against those infantry, those retreating rangers, then yeah, I certainly would have been able to get away with it here. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, let's say that it's just a bit more of a balanced approach. My I mean, to not be able to, you know, the smoke shouldn't, like, I guess it's fair, you know, like, it's totally fair for my opponent to, for the smoke to run out, and then, I don't use my own cover for it. Anyways, in the meantime, gonna have to retreat these guys. Lav AD just gonna toss some rockets at that poor Ranger team. Okay, that actually worked out pretty well. Unfortunately, I forgot to micro my Viper, so that is also the end of it. And then I lose my Lav AD to my opponent's tank over there. It's kind of a weird showdown. Oh, very crazy and scary cruise missile almost gets both of my Marine and Smalls team that I was currently moving. They probably predicted it. I also forgot that I had a Catfee in the back. Oh, the cluster already had those supplies blown up. We would have all been dead. But thankfully, not today. Gonna have to really back up and get back really quick. Gonna use the M60 to try to drive it around. And as you can see, this cap, you know, there are four dudes here, like maybe 3 for now. 4th guy's here. Since we were able to win the 1v1 on A side, here's the thing, right? Here's the deal. So right now, logically, our opponents have B, right? They have B because they nuke spammed us, or they used a nuke. So on paper, they have this cap. If they want to win the game or something like that, they'll need to take another cap. And that could be, I guess this is the limitations of a nuke, right? If they end up using the nuke on the cap where is already theirs, they're not going to get much from it. They need to nuke A, like the cap that was ours, like over here, for the entire match. There might be units inside, there might be units behind, but overall, it's always the nuke, especially the B2 nuke, is best utilized when the cap is not there. For me right now, I'm just using the M60 to, like, as you can see, this is since I kind of took a gamble here. If there were units here, this guy would be dead, but here in a position like this, I can hold off any Booker, any, maybe not ATGMs, but I can also shoot at the infantry that are here in the middle, which is quite nice. Oh, but yeah, it turns out there was some kind of infantry here. Oh, that's one shot from the mech engineers. Sorry, mech rifleman A. 2 shots. 2 shots come at you, very nice. That B2 trophy also gets into a tough fight against my opponent. That was a very weird interaction there. I think I lost my... Yeah, I lost it to a Booker. I lost the M60 to a Booker. Unlucky. There's more Bookers coming in. And right now I gotta smoke real quick. Gotta smoke the Catfee real quick. That doesn't immediately die. Oh, that's another shot at another Viper. Crazy though. Yeah, right now, as you can see, okay. So this is what the map looks like. Okay, even if this was a 0-0, like if this was a 0-0 game, all you gotta do now is just play for KD. Play for KD, or I think this would have been the more logical choice, play for A. Like nuke A or something like that. That would be the logical choice for my opponents to do it. However, since like most of us are like this guy in particular has practically been pushed out so far away that he can't even pressure A in the first place, our entire team has decided to devote our resources in B. So at this point, it probably would also be a good idea to nuke B. Although we have a lot of units spread out, like this is a nuke is probably like this big, maybe a bit bigger, yeah, like this, right? But since our units are actually quite spread out here, I had a hunch that we were getting nuked at some point, so we were talking about it the whole time. We decided that, okay guys, maybe we should spread out a bit. Like, taking B is really not our first priority here. We do have the point advantage here, 3-0, and although any cap lost right now, like as you can see, 4 guys is really also means that our defenses on other caps are pretty weak, as you can see inside the 2 caps over here to my bottom right hand side. Yeah, most definitely. I'm also just like getting a lot of help from my opponents, sorry, my teammates. Although, to say the least, oh, actually, Lavity applies panic so well, in such a quick fashion that it actually, oh, that is unlucky. It actually takes a long time for the tank to aim, but then I immediately lose the lab to the random HE MLRS and use the cafe to quickly artillery recap. I know at this point, since if we don't really hard push B, which is going to take more than 1,000 points of infantry and vehicles, building collapse here. That's unlucky, but at least we get an engine crit. If we don't take D back, that's fine. We have the advantage. All we got to do now is to try to not throw the game. And oh, they actually do have some units here. I don't know who's spotting it, but quite interesting. And use my move my cat phase away. Also firing at my opponent's step there, but since I used my smoke earlier to run away from the bunker, yeah, I couldn't smoke up against the small team and the Marine Raider squad. Here I spot the F-35 early, so I quickly smoke up my SEP-B2 reverse, so it got out. That's kind of like something that you gotta get used to when it comes to like when your opponent is so used to spamming F-35s. That was also a low altitude one, I believe, was it? I don't know. Well, I'll check later, I have no clue. But yeah, as you can see now, the CJ is coming in, and there's a nuke. There's the nuke. Actually, yeah, since like right now, like a lot of, and they even killed their own stuff. But anyways, right now a lot of my units are, especially reinforcements, which is quite nice. I specifically made sure to not have them on the front, although they kind of just arrived. But right now, like, so what if the nuke goes off? So what if the nuke, like, as you can see, yeah, okay, well, on paper, like, they killed a lot more stuff. 1 minute and 30 left on the clock. We're just gonna hold F. Hold F as hard as possible, but then now, all of a sudden, the problem lies within these three caps on the right. 3 caps on the right. Kinda need to hold them. Because if we don't, it's gonna be a draw. Like, any cap we lose is a draw. If we lose 2 caps, it's gonna be an absolute throw, and that's not good. What is a Raptor? F-35 is also nearby to provide some CA support. I accidentally wipes out the Raptor there. That was actually trying to protect. Oh, well, I mean, intercept any airstrikes only for it to become the prey itself. Hunter becomes a prey, I guess that's the saying. The 1,000-pound bombs aren't really efficient enough at dealing with my opponent's bookthrower, I mean the engineer infantry. In the last moments of this match, it seems like we were able to defend all of our caps, although that was a lot of pings in the back, but I guess it worked out for us. And that is the end of this heist episode. My opponents, as you see here, they aren't really, oops, let me... Okay, my opponents, as you see here, like, you might think, okay guys, but these are like new accounts, right? They're alts, all of them are alts, of like really good players, so, yeah, that's why I thought it would be a good idea to feature today's episode of Heist. I did manage to kill both nukes, so my KD does look actually quite decent, but if you take into account that I only killed 6k worth of units myself and lost like a bit more than that, not so much. So I think overall today's episode of Halo Heist is actually, I don't think it's a failure, but I definitely don't think it's a heist. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Much thanks to the channel supporters, Nova, Kiko, and KP, along with the boys at BA Army, as we mentioned earlier in this video. And anyways, I wish you the best, and I will see you guys in the next video.